So what is feminine yoga? This is a really big question. And because we all have masculine and feminine within us. But some of us are in male bodies and some are in female bodies. And we can see on the outside, female bodies and male bodies are different. So we have different parts and we have different shapes and we have very much like different purposes to our body. The women's body is to give birth, so we have a womb and ovaries and all of that apparatus within, and milk in the breasts and all of that, and the male body doesn't and can provide the seed for the baby and all of those differences. But also the masculine body is in general much more strong and muscular. And the female body is generally more soft and curvy because of the hips and the breasts. So we're seeing these differences in the body shape. And we are all really unique. So men are unique from each other, many different shapes in the masculine body, and also women. Some women have huge hips and other women have very small hips. So we're all very unique, but we all need to look at our uniqueness. When it comes to the yoga practice, like what works for our body is really important. And this can change all the way through your life. So the practice that I used to do when I was 20, I no longer do that same style of practice now. At 30 years later, I'm not doing the same kind of powerful vinyasa practice, which was quite physically demanding. So my practice has softened over time. So when it comes to feminine yoga, it's quite difficult to say, okay, all women should do this approach and all men should do that approach. But if we look at the differences in the bodies, and in my experience of being a teacher, then men generally, and I'm generalizing here, there's a lot of men that like to do a physical practice, like to do handstands and like to do strong, powerful movements because their body is good for that kind of practice. So the chaturangas and the arm balances and the powerful warriors and things like this really suit a masculine body and keep it strong and powerful. And when it comes to a woman's body, then I find, and I'm generalizing again, that this flowing movement, this soft flowing, more graceful, more heartful approach to yoga is what women have told me they really love. Yeah, so not all women. Some women really want to come and do handstands and powerful movements. And that is also important for a woman's body to remain strong and to have good tone, and it's good for the bones and things like this. So we have to work with our own body and where we're at. I know for myself that my practice has changed throughout the 30 years that I've been practicing. And how I know that it's working is that I feel good. I don't feel drained. I don't feel tired. I don't feel achy. I'm not depleted in any way. The practice that suits me now is a shorter practice of postures, but there's not just postures in yoga, there's also breath, and there's chanting, and there's kirtan, and there's meditation, and there's self-inquiry, and there's karma yoga where we can like bring our mindfulness into our work and what we're doing and conserve. So there's many different approaches and many different ways that we can practice yoga. It's very difficult to say what is feminine yoga, but when I teach women, I find that they love to focus on the heart. Because not all women, some women find it very challenging But generally, I'm saying the majority of women love to look into this. It's like an all-embracing, all-encompassing approach to yoga, where we're honoring the physical body and the energetic body, and also our emotional and mental body. And so women love to explore because they have a large emotional body. A lot of women feel the emotions very strongly, and especially with the cycles of menstruation and all the other things that we go through, that the hormonal changes in the body and the pregnancies and things like this. So the emotions are really a strong, something that's very strong within a woman. So when I'm teaching yoga, I like to honor all the different levels inside. And it's very much a colorful practice. It's very much an all-embracing practice. It's not about sitting still and being very quiet. Yeah, we can do that for a little bit, and it's good to develop that more masculine side of ourselves, so we have clarity and so we have the awareness to see all of the different flavors and all of the different emotions and all of the different energies that are moving within us. We need both. But the practice that I teach is much more of a nourishing practice. It's also strong sometimes, depending on who I'm teaching and how I'm feeling. But it's very much focused on the heart. It's very much focused on nourishment. It's very much focused on healing and on devotion. So the movements are also very soft and flowing, but we can go deeper and deeper into the posture with presence and with a lot of sensitivity. And I find that the women, because we're made to give birth, the majority of us were made to actually care for another human being inside of our body and then outside, that there is a tendency towards having this much more caring and heartful approach. And so this is what I bring into the yoga practice. And women tend to really enjoy. I've had some women actually say to me, "Wow, is this yoga? Can we do this?" And I said, yeah, we're doing postures. It's just because the attitude is different and we're not pushing, and it's not about holding the pose and going deeper and doing these like linear kind of asana practice, which is not wrong. It's just that this is what we've been passed down, and this is what we think yoga is. But yoga can be very, very soft, very fluid, very graceful, and very honoring and kind and nourishing. And so, in my opinion, this is the feminine approach to yoga, and this is what I love to teach.